Welcome to Build Series. I am Mike Helton, and I am completely shook to be chatting with the cast of the upcoming season of Drag Race All-Stars, premiering next Thursday, January 25th at 8 p.m. on VH1. If you guys are watching on our live stream, please feel free to submit a question. There's a little button that says Submit Question, and that's the right one. And we'll also be taking questions from everyone here in the audience, but first, I would love to throw to a clip, and then you're going to come back and meet our queens. Let's check out the show.
Are you ready to go for the gold? My most legendary queens return to battle for the crown. It's All-Star season.
I'm that bitch. Mama came to slay.
I don't get ready. I stay ready.
So sweet, you'll never know what hits you.
Snatching trophies.
I am a trophy. I'm back for the crown.
I feel incredible!
Body like what?
Laugh it up.
Competition? What? Competition.
You ain't seen nothing till you've experienced All-Stars.
Bring it.
The world is watching. Are you?
RuPaul's Drag Race
Who is
All-Star.
excited to meet the queens? Yes! All right, you guys are gonna make a lot of noise. You guys watching from your computers are gonna scream wherever the hell you are. Please join me in welcoming Chi-Chi DeVayne. Yes. Yes. Everyone scream, it's Thorgy Thor. Woo! Yes. Okay. Nobody freak out. It's Morgan Mcmichaels. I love beautiful. I'm lactose intolerant, but that's fine because I still love milk. Yes. Please join me in welcoming Ben de la Creme. Okay, everyone. Oh, yes, yes, I love, yes. All right, everyone, it's Kennedy Davenport. There she is, looking gorgeous. All right, everyone, please welcome Trixie Mattel. Yes. Yes, Trixie. Yes, thank you. Guys, straight from Brooklyn, it's Aja. Yes, Aja. Okay, last but certainly not least, everyone, it's Shangela. He's back. Back. Give it up for the cast of Drag Race All-Stars. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. When I found out I was doing this, I was like, I queefed myself. So, very excited to be here. I wanted to start. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Sorge. So I wanted to start off with, I guess, the most important question, and we have a lot to get through, but first question, this one is for anyone here. Who wins?
Well, without giving away too much information, here is the elimination order.
You know, if we say anything, there's like a red dot on my forehead, and RuPaul laughs, and you're like, oh, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I'm suspect now. I should like get a car home.
RuPaul's bank account is the winner.
Oh. It's okay, I can project.
Yeah.
Your insecurities onto others, yes.
I'm screaming.
Okay, so now a real question. You know, since it is your second time on the show and third. Time, Shangela. Did you guys have a strategy going in that like differed from the first time on the show? This is for anyone.
Well, ultimately, when I walked back in the room, I wanted to make sure that I made every moment count. Because I've been the girl that left first, and I've been the girl that didn't leave first. So I knew that going in the room, you can't take any second for granted. You got to make every minute count.
And how do you do that, right? Because
well, you be a professional, baby. That's how you do it. You come in, but you know what? Honestly, season 3, in my head, I was always trying to figure out what the judges wanted. But really, once you learn more about yourself and you kind of grow up and grow into your drag, and you go back in that room, you go, you know what? I'm not going to try and figure out what they want. I'm going to do what makes me happy and that I'm comfortable with, and I'm going to turn the party in my way. And they better like it.
Hell yeah, that's a great answer.
It's much easier too. It's much easier too going in, especially All Stars, because you know everybody. And my season 7 is the headache is learning the people that you are competing against and doing the challenges. That was the hardest part for me. It's all new, but going in All Stars is it's a lot easier. Because you know these girls, so you're much more relaxed. Even though you know it's going to be challenging, it's going to be hard. But knowing that you're doing this with your sisters makes it a lot easier.
That's a good answer. Did you want to say something?
For me, it was just like kind of different because I just literally got off the boat. It was like the driver went around the studio and dropped me right back off.
You took a nap in the studio and then just kept competing.
Good luck.
Where do you live that they took a boat to the studio?
There's a little island next to the studio. I just stayed with the cockroaches, actually. No, but it was just like, for me, I left season 9 a drag queen. I feel like I went back to All Stars, a reality TV star. I said, I don't care about the caliber of anybody's drag. This is not a competition for me. This is like, how can I brand myself and become the most memeable queen? Like, for me, it was like being memorable.
Felissa Edwards.
It's true. I think Drag Race is all about being memorable. And I felt that was my mission when I went back. Remember me, please.
I just wanted the money.
She wants a new car.
I wanted the money. Like, yeah, the branding thing is cute, but Shangela and I come from a season that wasn't a branded thing. So that's why I like being on there with her. It was just, we do it a different way. So coming back into something that's become such a monster and made huge celebrities out of the girls.
Thank
yes,
you. Thank you.
Yes, you. And I loved you in Star Wars.
Cut me open, bitch.
But, you know, I wanted the money. So that's all that I went for.
So this is something I was going to ask. You know, when the show premiered in 2009 to where it is now, it has really helped bring drag as a main part of pop culture. And there's so many more people, which is amazing, trying drag for the first time now than I think there was in 2009. And the show has done an amazing job, like, educating people on what drag is. How have you seen, since season 2, like, the show and drag change because of the show? Like, what's your experience from being on season 2 to coming back now? What are the changes that you have seen?
Well, when Drag Race season 2 came out, and Shangela can attest, you couldn't get a boyfriend if he punched you in the face. But now it's become such a popular thing. Guys are like, I don't really mind anymore that you do drag, so that's a positive. But watching the show each season and every episode gets harder. Even watching season 3 when Shangela was there, like the challenges that I saw on that season, I was like, oh shit.
I think they got bigger budgets for sure coming through. But they didn't spend on the workroom because the workroom, it's funny because going back into the workroom, it looks exactly the same. Yeah. That it did, same photos and everything.
Wait, now?
Except on All Stars, they're like, let's do the same challenges, but what if you were just on fire? Or what if we have your mom dangling over a Shark Tank? What about that? Yeah.
It's interesting to talk about, like, how far the show has come and the spin-offs. Not spin-offs, but the other shows on TV. Trixie and Katya is an incredible show. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
But seeing that drag is all over pop culture, where do you see the future of drag in the next couple of years? Oh my God! Honestly, there's a giant.
RuPaul is
Stacey
here,
Lane just
girl.
landed.
It's the 10th queen. It's the 10th queen.
Well, you know, I think in terms of drag, the pendulum always continues swinging, right? I mean, like, it's not as if RuPaul didn't already have this incredible moment of, like, breaking this particular glass ceiling in the 90s. And before that, we've had, like, continual resurgences of drag actually being fully acceptable and then sort of going back into this sort of more niche area. And so, I mean, I think in the next few years, this will just continue to build. But, you know, at some point, drag will become more of a niche thing again, and then it'll come back into the public eye. And I think every time we see the tide go back in with that, it's just bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah.
And it's really amazing where drag is right now because we have the opportunity to travel the world and we meet people all across the spectrum from a lot of different age groups. And I think to me the most surprising thing to come out of RuPaul's Drag Race has been how young, or even more young, the audience has become as we continue to grow. And even as we are on VH1 now, and it's in so many homes in like rural places that wouldn't necessarily know much about drag, they learn and they get to become more knowledgeable about who we are. And when you learn more about people whose community is different than yours, you can respect them more or at least understand them more. And I think that helps us all out.
Well, and to me, as Drag Race grows and as it becomes more mainstream, and clubs become more crowded with drag queens. There's a million drag queens nowadays. A couple years ago, there were maybe like 10. Yeah. Lady Bunny
in Brooklyn.
Worldwide.
Yeah. So I think it makes it makes us strive to push drag into further reaches, just like you were saying, like RuPaul did in the '90s, like having a having her talk show and then a reality TV show. Like Thorgy and I have talked about this, how Thorgy's an accomplished musician, a violinist, and I was a figure skater growing up. And so it's almost like joining passions of ours together and pushing drag from outside just the club in order to expand people's minds of where they can see, you know, men in dresses.
Like, why not ice skate in drag?
Yeah.
Why not run an orchestra
just make it
in
gayer.
drag?
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
And Thorgy, you've done concerts, right? You've done concerts in drag.
I have, yeah. Well, I'm starting to work my music much more with drag. It's always been my lifelong goal because it's always been my two personalities in my life. I'm either like Shane, who plays in orchestras, but then I go out in the club and I work.
I thought it was Thor.
Did you not know that? Courtney has two drag personas.
Definitely Thor.
But no, but it's nice that now I get to combine both of my lives, and really, like, it's been a goal of mine for so many years. And I keep telling everyone I've been working on my Thorchestra for years, and I'm like, oh, it's next week. It's been 2 years. So, but it's funny because I got hundreds of emails after season 8. Hi, my name is Heather. I live in Iceland. I play the harp. I want to be part of your Thorchestra. And I'm like, this is like going to be big. And I got hundreds of emails, and I have a list of every city, every instrument, and I wrote them all and said, when it happens and I call you, I'm going to show up. We're going to have one rehearsal, and the concert's the next day. And I'm going to conduct and just tell funny stories, and then Milk's going to come out ice skating.
That's incredible.
Why not? Yeah.
You talked a little bit about, you know, your boy side with Trixie. Didn't know your name. Was that real? Did you not know?
I could have sworn it was
I don't
Thor.
know anybody's
No?
names.
Oh my God, that's so, because
These
on
are
the show,
strangers.
My
it's
middle name is Thor.
always just the drag name.
I don't know.
And
True in real life as well.
That's
the
in real
only
life.
thing
So
that's
you go.
important.
So do you have?
Once it's announced on the show and it's like Thorgy Thor, aka Shane Thor Gal, I'm like, oh, they really spoiled all that for the secrecy. But my middle name is actually Thor. But like, I was born that way. You guys are gonna Google it anyway,
Do you, because you're spending so much time in drag and on the show, and you guys have been doing press for the last couple days, do you have trouble ever balancing your boy sides?
You have to find
at the beginning. I'm sorry. At the beginning of my career, I did, but it's almost like this is our primary source of income. When it becomes a business, your boy elude is just as much as important as your female illusion. So you have to know how to balance both of them, and you have to love both of them just the same.
Right, and I work in Hollywood now, and there are a lot of jobs as an actor you go after in their roles as a guy, and so you have to work on yourself also as your boy personality as you do as your drag personality. And it's just like we talk about work-life balance, and a lot of people, you have to have a boy, well, what I like to call fish, for me, a boy-fish balance in which, you celebrate both, because every part of you makes up who you are, and you have to celebrate and love every part of yourself because it makes you a better drag queen.
Hallelujah.
It's
Hallelujah.
I think that. Oh, go ahead, Asha.
If like who you are out of drag isn't held together at the moment, that your drag character can't really exist. Like you kind of have to have that structure, and I know that every time I've been like in shambles outside of drag, one time in drag I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here right now. So I feel like for me to be good out of drag, I need to be great.
You're not a bad person if the person you really are is polar opposite from who you portray. RuPaul always says, I'm an introvert portraying an extrovert character. Yes. You don't have to be who you can go to the bar and not make eye contact, doesn't make you a bad person. Or you can stay home and it doesn't make you a bad person.
Everybody's totally different. That's the great thing about drag, I think, is that all of our characters, even especially on this stage, are very different. Some of us are, you know, a heightened sense of ourselves in drag, and some of us are polar opposite of who we are out of drag. But I think that's what makes the entire drag community amazing, because you can be all kinds of different people. Yes, you can.
I think that you can hold on to your masculinity and be super feminine at the same time. I don't shave my legs or my eyebrows, and everything gets covered. What you don't see doesn't get shaved, you know? And
Ben's back.
That was last night.
There is a reason I'm not on a swivel chair. So.
But I think there's a big misconception of, you know, drag queens only being feminine boys, no body hair, all this kind of stuff. Where, but look at Milk. Changes that whole idea of masculine, feminine line. And I like that.
And I think in general, right, like the whole thing of drag is that we're actually shattering the idea that, like, right, like we're establishing that gender is a construct. Like there's this thing of
Tear it
like,
apart. Sorry, I had to say it.
But there's, right, like there's a whole thing where people are like, oh my God, you're a man, how can you be such a beautiful woman or whatever? And it's like, well, actually, if we're like a human who can make you think that we're both things, then what does that mean about those things? It probably means they're not real.
They're social contracts. We
Exactly.
created them, 100%. Boom, babe, boom. I want to talk a little bit to Milk about like the evolution of drag, right? I think on seasons, if you watch from all the seasons of Drag Race, you see queens are trying new things, and in the beginning it's a little bit difficult. On your first season, you're like, I do something different, and I believe in it. This is my art. Can you talk a little bit about the way, like how you view drag and where you see the future of drag going?
Well, I mean, I honestly, I know RuPaul says we're all born naked, the rest is drag. And it's so funny the amount of times that people are like, what you're doing isn't drag, you're not a drag queen, you're not doing this. And I'm just like, well, if you put drag queen in there, maybe I'm not a drag queen right now, but you can't say I'm not doing drag. Like, I have as much makeup on as all these other girls have on stage, and I put just as much time into all of these looks.
A little bit of shade from Trixie.
Not today.
So
No, you don't.
I know, she has.
She's wearing more makeup than any of
But
us.
we get your point.
So, I mean, for me, like going on season 6 and just wanting to just have fun. Like, I necessarily didn't go on season 6 to win. Like, I just went on to go do something I love to do and let other people see something that they maybe haven't seen before. And now, as seasons have gone on, like, I mean, there's the bearded challenge, and there's been at least one male character in every single Snatch game since season 6. Yeah, I know. And
Shut up.
Shut up. Glory holes. What was it? And so, I mean, for me, I love being a part of this. And if I made a slight ripple in like the progress of drag into the future, then I'm happy with that. Yeah.
You did.
You did. I think you did too.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I want to take a little bit of a turn. I think that drag has always been a form of resistance. And I think right now with your show airing at a time when currently the situation in Washington is something I will call a shithole. How do you feel that drag, your drag, is important in politics with what's happening right now?
Well, I am so political, and I hate Donald Trump so much. And I think it's our duty to, you know, when people were voting, our family members might have voted Republican. You know, you have to take a look at that. And as drag queens, you have to be like, hey, maybe not. Like, if you're a woman or a person of color, gay, an immigrant, like any of those things, you should not be voting for that idea. If you have any of that in your family, look at this group of girls. We're all those things. And you're voting against us, but you love us so much. So think about your actions before you make them. And 2020 is just around the corner. And if we hold on and we stay tight and stay away from like ICE, and if, you know, be a sanctuary person, be a sanctuary home, take in people that are going to get kicked out. Do things like that that make a difference. You know, we make money in clubs and we talk a good game, but can you walk the walk? And that's what, you know, Milk does a lot of things with voices, and they do a lot with Chechnya, and I'm so impressed by that. That gives me the fever.
I would definitely have to say I don't really too much put my focus on adults, and especially in politics, because I believe you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So as a female impersonator, as a drag queen, I feel like it's our job to continue to inspire our younger generation, because they are our future. And if we continue to be positive role models and continue to be an inspiration to them, then we can change their mind and build them up to make a difference in the world, because we're the ones that are paving, we are paving the way. And we are like the most popular beings in the world. And we have to take advantage of that. It's the truth. It's straight, gay, whatever, and we have to take advantage of that. So if we can reach one person, that will make a difference, because that person can reach another person. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can't fight the politics. You hit it in the ground, hit it at the root, hit these children that are watching these things.
Children.
Bitch, you know what I'm talking about. But touch the children. Touch the children.
Touch the children! My God! We're moving on, yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
No, of course.
Reach
of course,
out
of course.
to them. Touch them in a way that they want to be inspired. I mean, a joke in a serious
Metaphorically touch
matter,
their lives.
really.
But
I mean, I find this very serious, and I don't find it funny. So, but it's very true. It's a lot of homeless kids out there that have a future. So we have to continue to reach out to them.
No, it's a very, very good answer.
See,
Let's clap it up for that answer.
But I think the opposite. I think you can teach an adult to change their mind about things if you get with them on a personal level.
Not
kids,
Trump.
Because
I'm talking about people like that.
Yeah,
but you
kids
said
don't-
adults.
But
so.
kids don't have votes yet.
Morgan
And
is
we're
changing
suffering
minds
now.
through hooker wear.
I am.
Yes.
And I will give all the blowjobs if you change your vote.
Blowjob for votes, babe. So with that, there are a lot of kids that we are metaphorically touching with beautiful messages, and all of you have such a platform and have incredible messages, and so many people look up to you. The fact that this is on VH1 with millions of people, kids in areas of the country and the world that don't have the support of a loving parent that can say, "Baby, do you just be yourself?" I think it's incredible that kids can watch you and see you as an inspiration. So with that, do you have any words of advice if there's a kid out there that is just a wonderful queer kid that might want to try on a wig for the first time, right? What's your advice to them?
I would definitely say be careful, because a lot of our society does not accept, and we've all been through bullying and everything. So be careful. Surround yourself with people that really have your genuine, that really care about you genuinely and wholeheartedly, that will protect you. I was blessed to have people around me that guarded me, even though I was able to be myself. Be yourself, be happy. Don't waste time trying to please anybody, but be careful when you do it, especially at a young age, because kids are cruel. Especially in school, when you're by yourself, you don't have anyone else to turn to, because the teachers can't do nothing, the principals can't do anything, so you have to proceed with caution when expressing yourself.
And adding to that, what she was saying, it's also very important, I think, that we share with kids that just being exactly who you are is enough. And you have to love yourself, and don't always look for other people to give you the love that you can give yourself. And we say that to kids, and we say that to adults too, because some of those lessons come later in life. And it's really important, I think, for anyone wanting to try drag for the first time, to just know to have fun with it. A lot of times, because we're in a competition, people take it so seriously. And it is, you know, when you want to do well at your craft, you want to take it seriously, but you also want to have fun. I mean, it is drag. So, you know, this is supposed to be something that you enjoy. So really just share love a lot with yourself. Don't lose your smile, your positivity, and go out there and just turn it and have a good time.
And look at all of our costume, right? Look at all what we're wearing. What we do is sit around and dress our bodies up, right?
Yes,
it is so much fun. It really is fun. It really is fun. We are all very uncomfortable, but you put a smile on your face because, and I was gonna say before, it's that like, you guys, like literally sitting here with you and listening to you tell us how much power we really do have to reach like a younger generation. It is important to remember that, to have a good message. And I've been through a lot of things in my life, but it is important to just say out loud, like, you know, I've like lost a lot of people in my life. I struggle with mental things. And I always talk about mustard and fruit snacks. And by the way, that's really me. That's the other half of me. But like, it is important to enjoy every day. And that's what I tell a lot of people. I get a lot of fans who come up to me at meet and greets. I'm sure we all do, right? And they're like, you know, I struggle with this and you really helped me through this. That is my #1 favorite thing to hear. And I always take a second, and nobody rushes me with this person. And I say, listen, wake up every day and find a way to enjoy it. Really, sometimes it's harder. Days are harder. Find a way to enjoy it. And my way is putting my balls in my, no. No, being really uncomfortable on AOL. No.
She feels incredible!
By the way, it's important. By the way, and when I'm feeling low and I scream, I feel incredible. By the way, I feel a little bit more incredible that day. Really, it's powerful.
You'll find your tribe. You'll find your tribe. We found ours.
And actively look for them. I mean, that's the other thing, is just because the people around you might not understand or be supportive doesn't mean that there aren't people who will, and you can't let that discourage you or let you give up in searching for your place and your people.
And with the internet, you have every avenue to find people like you. I mean, look at these two girls right here. They look flawless. Your makeup, your hair, I love it. You guys look amazing.
Let's hear for this
thought it was
crew.
me.
I was like, you better call them out.
I thought it was me. I said, thank you, sis. Oh, that ain't me. Oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, y'all look good, too. Y'all look good,
You
too.
look
Y'all
amazing. You look amazing.
I couldn't possibly publicly say nice things about these girls.
We do have some audience questions, but before we do, Chi-Chi, how you doing, girl?
I'm hanging in here. I'm hanging in. It's been a long day.
Okay, it's good to chat. Let's get some audience questions.
Hi, ladies. I was wondering, if you had to run for president of the United States, which other Drag Race girl would you pick to be your vice president?
What other Drag Race girl? Ooh, that's good.
I would pick Delta Work because that bitch is smart as hell. And she knows
everyone would have nice hair.
And everyone would have great hair.
I'm picking my drag mother, Alyssa Edwards, although she ain't gonna wanna be nobody. Wait, though, she ain't gonna wanna be nobody's vice, nothing. So it's just gonna have to be a co-presidentation, because that's what it's gonna have to be.
Child. I will have to make 2 vice presidents. I'll just change it all up, just change the game up. I would have to choose Coco Montrese because she is the political lady, honey. And I would also have to choose Latrice. Because she's always the level-headed one and always got the answer, baby.
You know,
Gabby Brown.
I have to say that even...
Tammy Brown. I like my queens a little left of center, okay? Yes.
Even though Courtney's not technically eligible, the way that she has been so active and speaking out so politically, I just think is so commendable. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, don't let drag get political, it should be entertainment. Drag is inherently political, and when people like Courtney put their neck out there and really speak about the important issues, I think that's really, really noteworthy.
And she has a great tuck. So we've seen.
You need a good VP with a good
I just say
tuck.
Bianca Del Rio for president.
I think anybody who gets in drag and is in the public eye is somewhat in somewhat or shape or form resisting and living their life and living their truth and just being yourself in a big light will make you a vice president in some way. So in some way, we could all share that position because it's our job to do what the president can't do. Our president is...
So like anything.
Brush our hair.
Clearly incompetent. But for us, it's really just like, it doesn't matter what they say because we all know he's like a bigot. So like, us just being here, us being in this room, this show, this happening, this is already a form of protest.
There's at least 40 of us. That's enough, I think. Yeah.
So which bitch would you choose?
What was that?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Everyone, a conglomeration
We're
of
all vice
everyone.
president now.
If I had to
Kumbaya.
narrow it
Long-winded
down.
answer.
It was wishy-washy.
All of us.
Yeah.
What? Okay, fine.
I think it's okay. All of us would be VP.
I would choose Sonique because she has the smallest nose a human has ever had.
Right. Right. Good answer.
I wish.
Another audience question in the back.
Love you guys so much.
Love you.
Thanks. I was just wondering, especially this week, it was nice to hear some of the positive things you had to say about your experience of being in drag, but do any of you want to comment on like the pressures associated with Drag Race and kind of putting your emotional and mental health ahead of your career sometimes, that kind of thing?
It was. I can say for me, going into All Stars 3 and competing, it was very emotional for me. You'll see me crying quite a bit, but I mean, it's hard. Drag Race is hard, and don't get it twisted. We have fun moments. We have great moments.
Can I
we
bring
really.
in Chi for a second?
Yeah.
She was backstage and she goes, I can't even read. She threw her phone and she goes, I can't even read these comments.
Yeah.
Like we try and, we post pictures. By the way, we're not perfect, none of us. We could pick out a flaw all day long, right? But we try, you know what I mean? Aja's on there like a face shooting like crazy and then she posts, no.
Oh, whoa.
No, but by the way,
That's
no,
not
she
a
doesn't need
read.
to. I'm just saying,
Everybody on this panel
she
face
loves it. She loves doing it. But people can always pick out flaws. And she threw her phone and she goes, girl, I just can't even with this because there's so many negative comments coming up. And Milk also said it, right? You were like, girl, somebody said something. And you're like, I just can't. Milk's not doing drag.
Yeah, people
How
were just
dare
like,
she
she's
think-"
not doing drag, and so therefore I wore nails on my face because if you're not wearing nails, you're not doing drag. So henceforth, therefore, I'm doing drag.
But to answer your question about the pressures, do you want to talk a little bit about what you said? I don't know what comments you read, but you threw your phone. I was like, ooh, she's upset. But
Yeah,
it's the pressure of doing this and being at this level.
Yeah, that's one of them. The comments and the bullying. I hate to say bullying because I don't feel. I mean, I don't. It's bullying. It's bullying. That and like for me personally, like I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling with finding what my drag persona is and where do I fit in with the whole thing. And like for me, it feels like I've been shoved into this life that I never expected. So I'm still struggling trying to find exactly who Chi Chi Devane is on top of who is Xavier Davenport right now at this moment. So I mean that's the hardships that I'm going through right now. It's hard and I'm struggling mentally with it.
Well, thanks for sharing that, though. I think that a lot of people will relate to that honesty.
We love you, Chi Chi.
I think some people sort of forget that there is like a human behind like the drag and the makeup. And, like Trixie said, that person can be very different. And it's like you will never know what we've gone through. You only know what you've seen of us on social media. You only know what you've heard or what you've seen on TV. You don't know that maybe Shangela may have broken her leg when she broke her leg. You don't know that when I got off of season 9, I had to move out of my abusive ex-boyfriend's house. You don't know if Trixie had to blend her cheek. Like, these are real human
The struggles.
These are real struggles. People don't realize it, and then it becomes about tearing all of us apart sometimes. And I think the biggest thing anybody can do is just commend, just a support. And like, it's as easy as just, you don't have to be nice. It's just as easy as not being mean.
I think in general, I think social media is a really tough place for a lot of people. And especially when you're on a show and you're presenting beautiful and glamorous. It's easy for people, it shouldn't be, it's easy for people to say mean things because they think you'll be fine regardless.
And
but
I want to
think
say this, if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
I think your question might have been alluding to the fact that a friend of ours, Katya, recently posted online that she was taking a break from drag in order to focus on strengthening back up her mental situation right now and her health, just focusing on her own health. And in noting that, I just want to say, first of all, we all love Katya and we send her love. Yeah. And we respect her a lot because it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot, just as a person, to admit that it's time for you to focus on yourself for a second.
She went from 0 to 100 quickly, yeah.
Yeah, especially if people are like handing jobs and opportunities and checks at you every 5 seconds, to be able to say, I want to take a step back for 1 second, just for a second. She ain't gone nowhere. She's taking a quick break. But taking a break just to focus on yourself. And when you can admit that you actually need help, my friend Jennifer Lewis, in her book, The Mother of Black Hollywood, currently available on Amazon, says,
quick plug.
Struggled a lot with mental health throughout her career and her life, and she's one of my icons and legends, and she's bipolar as well. But she says the very first step is saying and admitting to yourself out loud that you need help. Yes. And when you can do that, you're on the road to recovery already. So we love her, and thank you for that.
I think that's a great...
I think there's a lot of people, like Shangela said, that have to take the break. But there's a lot of girls up here that are so strong mentally and so strong, like, inside. People keep sending, like, I thrive on the negativity online. It just
Clap back queen. Clap back.
I am the clap back queen. But
Me too.
people will do what it takes to break you. They will keep going till they get you.
I think because of that, and this is something that I'm sure everyone would love to hear, I think people need to be kinder in general. And it starts at the top. It starts at the people who have the biggest following. Just maybe say one nice thing about someone you don't like a day. Just be kinder. And the world would be not to be like
something we
I had
like
to
about
shut-
Donald Trump.
Yeah, I had to shut somebody down, and I posted a picture on Facebook yesterday, and I had to shut somebody down, and they made a comment about one of my sisters, and he didn't understand why I was so offended because he wasn't talking to me. And I let it be known, if you're talking about my sisters, you're talking about me. And I post a picture not for your opinion. I'm not asking you for your opinion. And the message that I'm sending this go round is people need to change their focus when they watch TV. They need to see that we are all making a difference together. We are all breaking down barriers. This TV show would have never been thought about 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Look at where we have come. So, look where we came from. Look where we are now. And that's what's most important. And if people stop looking at the smallest thing and look at the bigger picture, that even though you may have your favorite, I may not be your favorite. You have a favorite here. Celebrate them and celebrate the show. Celebrate the fact that it's on television.
Celebrate drag being on TV.
Yes. Celebrate the fact that we're winning Emmys. I mean, if we're all together doing something positive for our community as well as our world, and changing the world, changing the way people think about us, and
You better
that's what's
sing it,
most
Kennedy.
important.
Yes. No,
And in question and answer, that was Kennedy Davenport, contestant number 2.
I mean, the amount online that I see, like when somebody posts their opinion, it's just like, well, it's not meant to be mean. It's just my opinion. I'm like, but your opinion is mean.
Right,
Like,
we didn't ask for it,
yeah,
though.
Write it.
like,
People
and-
read it. A lot of people
Yeah,
read it.
And if
say,
you go
"What did
out
you
of
think?"
your way
No.
to post something negative about someone, then you mean for them to see it.
Right. Just because it's opinion doesn't mean you should give your opinion on it at all, because your opinion is rude as fuck.
But this is the thing. People think that their opinions matter to us, and they really don't.
Because
you're not affecting my rant.
Just your good
think
about
about
that,
that.
though, and this has become like
Okay,
a
go.
symposium about like social media. Welcome to Dear Evan Hansen, everybody. This is a huge part of the show, and I think the show got super popular as social media was becoming such a big thing. And Queens, starting at season 4, Queens started to get a huge following after that, and that makes you more money. It makes you more famous. But then on top of that, the good comes with the bad, and I think it's a shitty part about
But
our
baby,
culture.
what you have to learn is that at the end of the day, we would like to inspire people to spread positivity. That's what we want you to do. However, every person has to realize, you cannot control. I can't control what you do. I can't control what you write. The only person I'm in control of is me and how I respond to it, how I make it a part of my day, how I internalize it. So I'm going to do all I can to continue to spread positivity and hallelujah. And I'm not going to focus. One time I responded to a fan that had, read me, and I said, well, let me set the record straight. Well, it was me, I'm first. But anyhow, no. But the truth about it is, online, and another fan responded to me and said, Shangela, you responded to that fan who read you, but we give you so much love and you didn't write back to us. And we like to respond to everyone, but we always can't. And that taught me, you know what? I am going to focus on these people who are giving me love. We're going to focus on the people who are sharing love with us. You can get a response from us faster by saying, bitch, we live for you, other than, bitch, what the fuck with that hair? You know,
Well, you know what? I can say on top of that, because I do both. I respond to the good and the bad. And I'm a witness that, because I had to go through this my season of changing people's minds about me. And I never had a problem doing that, because clearly you don't know who I am. You only see what you saw on season 7. Yeah, I said it. Yes, I did it. But that's not entirely the type of person that I am. So I took almost the whole year responding, emailing, personal emails, all of that. That's just a part, for me, that's a part of my business. I've been in this business for 22 years, and social media is a part of my business. So I used that energy to change a lot of people's mind, and I'm grateful to have done that, because now I've worked hard. I can say that I worked hard to build the fan base that I have now. So it's, in so many ways, it is worth it, you know, but you just know how to balance it. You respond to the good, you know, the people that are always in your inbox, that are always sending you messages. You respond to them, but you don't respond to every negative comment. You pick and choose your battles, of course, but I don't mind setting the record straight. I don't mind going in your inbox and explaining and talking to you and changing your mind. I've had many people apologize to me because of that. Oh, you're really not that type of person. No, I'm not. I'm really not. So, I mean, it goes hand in hand.
It goes both ways. I think I didn't mean to spend so much time on the social media topic, but I think it was important. I think it was good to talk about.
Yeah, it's very important. We all experiencing the bullshit right now.
So while you're watching Drag Race All-Stars Season 3, which premieres next Thursday.
And the Trixie and Katja show, which premieres the 24th.
Thank you. Next Thursday at 8 p.m. on VH1. While you're watching, why don't you just say a nice thing on social media about everyone, and maybe we'll all be in a better place next week. I want to thank the queens for being here.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. I'm Mike Kelton. Thanks everyone in their audience and everyone watching at home. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.